The Good People Show. I'm Curtis.
I'm Luke. Ramey, when you introduce us, you never say your last name.
But you put the last names right there.
I do. That's true. They are there. They're right
in
here.
the thing. So like,
yeah.
What's the big deal?
And we got Instagrams. You know, you've got more followers on Instagram than I do.
Really?
Yeah. So if you guys could help me out, that would be great.
Please help him out.
Right there.
Just be ready for some long conversations in your Instagram comments.
Yeah, I do that.
And these marketing we're doing for this show, Luke talks a lot about stories on Instagram, and he's like, I don't understand them.
I don't.
So like, he just sends templates, and you're like, you just do whatever it is. Like, I obviously don't get
I made
it.
some nice templates.
Yeah, oh, they were great.
Yeah, okay.
But it was like, hey man, like talking about a few different things. He's like, this person is just posting a lot of stories. I was like, yeah, man, that's what they're for. Like, you post them so they go away, so you don't have to necessarily be attached. It's just like a thought bubble.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be there and be gone. Not something I want to stake my whole reputation on this. It's just, hey,
see, I don't.
Isn't this a crazy thought? And he's like, some people are posting like 20. I was like, I've seen people post like 30.
I've got a friend. She's wonderful. She lives out in Seattle, and when she posts them, there's like, you know, it's the little tiny. It's like all these different images, and I'm like, gosh, good Lord. You know, I mean, I'm just sitting there forever going through this.
Yeah.
I'm showing my age. I mean, but it's not my. That's not my. But did we talk about? So we talked about social media a couple of episodes ago about how people are going to more direct connect like stories than what they are to more long form conversation like Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
And honestly, Instagram isn't supposed to be like that, but us old people.
Isn't supposed to be which way?
It isn't supposed to be long conversations.
No, that's what I mean.
People like me have gotten on Instagram to try to be hip.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me educate you a little bit. It's like,
definitely add me. You won't regret it, I promise.
Yeah,
I did get Marco Polo, and I've been a fan of this.
I still haven't.
Direct.
I don't.
You don't polo?
I don't polo.
You know what? This is what I learned. Because once you do it, then it kind of grabs your information and like friends like that you can add.
Yeah.
It's 90% is female.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a female platform.
That's what all these things are.
Is Instagram a female platform?
I mean, it's for young men who are looking for females. I mean, that's all social media. That's what Facebook was made for.
Yeah, that's true.
To check if people were single or not, you know? And now we've got them influencing.
That's why Justin Timberlake was there at the beginning. I'm just kidding. I'm quoting the movie now.
I invented Napster. I made Facebook awesome. But now Facebook's influencing elections. Isn't that great?
It is.
A hookup site is now the arbiter of truths. No, he didn't want to be that. That was Zuckerberg.
He doesn't want to be that. Yeah. That's why he's... You know,
I know when people like are on my lawn and like just saying like terrible things, I'm like, hey man, I don't want to shut down a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This might be my property, but no, you're responsible for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is America. They can say what they want.
You and I, we might have different views on that. I'm okay with him letting people do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's not what they do. And we know that because they keep shutting down our advertisements.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
So they're definitely talking out both sides of their mouth.
Exactly,
because they're not holding true to that at all. We know they're not.
So there was a test. There was some account took all the Donald Trump stuff because this is what everyone's talking about, saying that he's doing hate speech and he's doing this and that. And they're saying no, he's not, and we treat him like we would anyone else. So someone took what Trump was saying and just posted it on some random account over and over, and some bot flagged it for hate speech.
Flagged and shut
whoa.
Hold up.
Let's recreate this a few thousand times and see if it holds up. But like that should cause the alarm bell.
But I mean, Facebook is in the running for digital voting. I mean, that's what they pushed registration. Was that 3 years?
They're doing it now too.
It was in the last election. Was the first time that they
because Instagram is owned by Facebook. But like they've got that registered to vote.
Well, and that came out along for the last presidential election. It was the government partnered with them to do this registration through their secure network, and you know that it's in their mind. If we can move voting to our platform, if we can provide secure voting with Facebook registered IDs,
that's awful.
Hey, I'm not advocating. I'm just saying that's, of course, Facebook is looking out for its relationships with government officials. Yeah, because it's got a bottom line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Corporatizing our elections. I mean, we already do it like voting machines and stuff, but like, come on, are we going to get that far?
I mean, I think we are. What do you? We aren't going to talk about digital voting.
No.
We will though.
Welcome back.
Sorry, we forgot you were there for a minute. No, but we will. We have to talk about digital voting. And not appearing. We have to talk about that sometime coming up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We've got a long way till November, so
we do.
And we won't be on this book forever. But I do think this book is a good sleeping off some of this drunken rage right before, the primaries are largely over. We've got our two guys now. We got Biden and Trump, and
we got our teams to join.
Yeah, let's take a step back and realize that we're susceptible to teams, no matter how rational we think we are.
We're both, but also, I think looking at this election too, is the teams aren't that different, except for that they don't like the other team.
Yeah.
Like if you take two football teams that don't like each other, they both all have the same positions.
Yeah.
They're the same. They're just against each other.
Right.
And so Biden and Trump are both old dudes. You know what I mean? Like, they're old white dudes. And so, let's just talk about, well, we won't, but
Kanye's running now too.
Kanye's running. Hey, we got something different.
Yeah.
I saw a news report. He picked his VP candidate, Joel Osteen. It was a Babylon Bee article.
Oh, okay.
It seemed pretty. It actually, you don't know.
I was shocked, but I was ready for that to be true.
Yeah.
So that just says a lot, I think.
Kanye. I think he named. Yeah, he was going to name Joel Osteen. He turned him down, so he named Donald Trump as his running mate. I think. That's what he. Who knows?
I mean, hey, that's a great contingency plan.
Yeah.
What's funny is Kanye's missed a lot of deadlines, so he's just hoping for a
he's gonna be on 5 states.
He's gonna be the first write-in president to ever win the office.
Yeah,
I guess is his goal. I don't know.
I mean, he's gonna let Donald Trump finish, but I hope that reference was gonna at least be gotten by you.
I'm gonna let you finish, Trump.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'll be taking over in January.
But Kanye's the best president of all time. Or will be.
Whatever.
Gosh, that was such
President of my label.
Yeah. Did you watch that live?
No, I did not.
I think I was watching it with Corey, and we both just jaw dropped. Was this staged? Is Eminem gonna come out and do? And then you saw the shock on Beyonce's face. You're like, oh, this is real. Oh
yeah. Gosh. What are you doing?
What are you doing,
dude? You're dragging my name through the mud here. Yeah. I don't like award shows.
I don't know.
I don't like people just giving each other high fives that do the same. You know what I mean? It's
I think you do it when you're young. I hope that it's just a young thing. Man, it's for artists and for young people.
Grammys. So I worked,
in
Christian music for a while, Christian entertainment, and there's all this hype. Oh, can you believe she won the Grammy this year? Or he won the Grammy, or they won the Grammy this year.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, they give it out every year. I mean, somebody wins that every year, and it's not like football where it's 32 teams fighting for a championship. They have to give it to someone, and they can't give it to the same person every year because then people would stop watching.
Yeah.
So they have to spread it out, and Christian music's not that big.
It's funny that you say that, but everyone loves Tom Brady, and he wins the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, that's true. Go Bucks. I guess. Whatever.
I guess.
All right. Well, let's jump into this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
we
this.
We talked about last
we
week.
left him with a question. We've hopefully had some conversations. And,
yeah.
The
position was made that Ezra makes it that politicians care more about the engaged and pushing the fear of the other side because that's who signs their checks, signs their contributions. Or the boots on the ground for their campaign, or
pushes their propaganda.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you remove the fear of a real threat, historically, enthusiasm just drops off a cliff. So it's not that I'm really on board for these policies. It's if you talk to those people who are knocking door to door, it's why are you doing this? We've got to protect our country from that person.
Yes.
Because they're going to destroy the country. And we've got some pretty good checks and balances systems to make sure that a president can't do that. I know that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can damage our reputation here and there with some guys, and we've done that plenty of times. But, I don't know that the whole country is going to crumble. You know what I mean?
Based on a president.
Yeah.
No.
On 4 years of
4 years. Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
But, so, the example he gives is Beto O'Rourke. He ran famously in 2017 against Ted Cruz, a very polarizing guy, one of the top Republicans on the national stage. And it was everyone loved him.
And a polarizing, not a central guy.
Ted Cruz Oh no, Ted. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean both of those guys.
Yeah.
Beto a lot more so when he ran. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Ted is. Yeah, I mean he says some pretty off the wall stuff.
Yeah.
And so Beto runs against him and gets national praise. Like on election day, Beyonce had like a Beto hat on.
Yeah.
She doesn't live in Texas.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But like
she can't do anything.
And he only lost in Texas, a very blue state. He only lost by a few points. I didn't write it down. But then when the Democratic primary comes around, he puts his hat in for the presidential slot and just did not do well.
Didn't get anything.
There was a lot of like hype around him, but I don't think he got over 10% anywhere in any state.
Yeah.
I mean, he never made it to the first state to be voted on. He was out like in, pretty early on last year. Like in the I could have my timetables. It felt like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was reading that. I was like, oh yeah, Beto ran. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
But like near the end, he was saying some like, of course he wasn't holding any office at that time, so he could be a little more radical than I think maybe even he was. And a lot of stuff was happening to radicalize people, but he was saying some stuff that just was like, people just were not digging it at all on either side. So it just kind of fell out for him. But that's kind of the thing is Beto did so well, or that's what Ezra's saying, is he did so well against Cruz because everyone was fearful of Cruz. Yeah. He didn't do so well in the primary because no one's really afraid of. Who are you afraid of?
Why are you
if you're a Democrat, who are you afraid of?
It was the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so scared that Kamala Harris is going to destroy the country, or you know, who's your senator?
Yeah.
Or was your old senator Klobuchar?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You think she? Yeah. Come on, man.
But the thing is, you don't see that you don't generally see that in primaries. Like you see some hatred and like this person's. It's normally like ethical attacks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, hey, well they didn't do what they said they were going to do. You know what I mean? It's not they're going to ruin things. Yeah. You know? Mostly because they're going to have to align with them when this is all over.
Right.
With, right.
That's always the primaries. It's like you're super radical in the primary, and then you come more towards the center in the general because of course you have to. You got to get support.
But the odd thing though, the Republican primary last election cycle that Donald Trump
2016.
Won, he was horrible to everyone in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's funny that he did not think of it that way.
No.
Which is odd.
He just did what he did.
He did what he wanted.
Yeah.
Which is what the voter wanted. So apparently.
I mean, that was the year of populism. You know, that was why Bernie did so well in 2016 was because even in the Democrat Party, like, it was they wanted a different choice between Clinton, you know, and then.
And I think there's always. I feel like every election, I'm going to be 40 this year, every election I've witnessed, presidential election, it's always been, man, we got to get this old Washington out of here.
Yeah.
Get new. Like, that's not a new slogan.
No.
Like, if you're a young 18-year-old, joining up to go push a Democratic candidate or back Trump.
He's going to go to Washington and fight for us. What was that movie that some name goes to, it's like back in the freaking 40s or 50s.
Oh, gosh, I have no idea.
Mr. Johnson Goes to Washington or something
like
that. I don't know. That's what a lot of people reference is like, if they would just do it like that, you know, it's like, I mean, if it was a movie, hopefully we'd have better writers, but like, this is the real world, you know.
Our writing team's not very good.
Whoever's wrote 2020.
We let everybody write.
Insane.
So we let everybody write.
We've got some like masterclass writing, fiction writing class, like just spitballing stuff.
They're focusing on like fantasy works or near reality fantasy works.
Listen here, what if we bring in killer bees in April? Like, what are you smoking?
I think that'll be a distraction from the story. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be supported.
People like excitement. Let's do it.
It's just a flash out there, and then we pull it back.
But that's what he was like. Yeah. You don't need support. You need anger.
You need anger.
That's kind of where our political strategists are at now. It's like the more shocking it is, the more angry you can make your supporters of the other side. That's what's going to carry you. And that's why I don't know if you've ever been on a fundraising list of a politician.
I've not.
I signed up for all of them this year just to see what they were saying.
Yeah.
And I can back up wholeheartedly.
So you're a financial supporter of Donald Trump?
No, like none of them.
You sent him $1.
I just got on the list.
Okay.
I said I may be interested in the future. I've since unsubscribed from all of them.
Of course. Yeah.
But it was like, it's like, this is how we're going to, libs are out of control, or they're tearing our country apart,
Yeah.
or the Republican Party has lost their minds. You know, like it was.
Yeah.
That's and only you can save us just by donating $1, $2.
Yeah.
Can I sign you up for a reoccurring $3 a month? You know.
Yeah.
That was the big Bernie meme from last year. Was I'm once again here asking for your financial support, and so everyone took the financial support and like just put in wacky stuff like it was your mom. I'm once again here asking you to clean your room. You know, like.
Yeah.
But that's the meme of politicians. Like, hey guys, they're gonna kill us all. Please give me $2.
Yeah.
And we can do this.
And speaking of that, you can be a patron on our Podbean site if you'd like to join up for as little as $2 a month. You can join our ranks at $8 a month. You get our premium content.
Yeah.
I did well. I pivoted to that.
Gee.
I'm the sales guy though.
Yeah,
you know?
you're the ass
I got it in my
for the
blood.
sale. Yeah, I mean that you didn't even skip.
No, I was ready for it, man.
I was waiting for like
you were teeing that up. And you didn't even know.
I was waiting for like a jab or like some t-ball, and then I didn't realize I was teeing up a sales.
Saw a
pitch.
chance to make the pitch. I make the pitch. That's what you do. No, but and I wonder. Do you remember back Sarah Palin, John McCain? Do you
Who
remember?
could forget?
But this is what I almost miss it. But there was a vast array of Republicans, of extreme alt-rightish, and then a more central.
Yeah.
There was a vast array, and it seems like everybody has just agreed, nope, we're just going to back this guy. Like, that's what it feels like, And I know that's not true. That's not everybody.
Yeah.
But we're going into a presidential election. People consider that an important thing. It's a good fundraising type moment, and the people that are really wacky and out there raising tons of support for a politician are raising it for Donald Trump right now.
That's why like a Republican like state representative is referencing like Ilhan Omar or AOC in their campaign stuff. It's like, I'm going to fight against them. It's like, okay, bro, first of all, you're not even in the same house.
Yeah, you don't get to.
You're not fighting. But like that triggers that, oh gosh, you're right. If we get a Democrat in here, it could be the next AOC or the Ilhan Omar. And it's like,
but
okay.
They don't even they can't do anything about it. Like they're not supposed to do anything.
But it's just
not
fear.
their place.
Yeah,
it's fear.
It's just stirring up fear.
Fear mongering.
So he talks about the idea of identity politics, and we talked about team sports a little bit last week. And identity politics right now is kind of a contentious thing. Like the online Twitter, like that's a big thing there. When
and
you think identity politics,
who I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you say identity politics now, like you'll have someone on the right saying that's just so terrible. But if you back up, and I'm not supporting like what's happening on Twitter or anything like that, but I'm not against it either. But like, I just, from a neutral stance coming in, the identity politics that Ezra's talking about is like, I own a dog. So if an issue about dogs come up, I'm going to have a say.
Dogs are no longer allowed in Dogwood Park.
Yeah.
Like if that issue were to come up.
Like, hey, what the heck?
You'd be like, wait a minute.
If I don't own a dog, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, you wouldn't care because you don't identify. I don't own a dog. I wouldn't care at all.
Yeah.
So.
But like if it, so that's like me as a dog owner. It has nothing to do with my party alliance. Me as a father, if they're like, hey, kids.
Or a filmmaker.
Or a filmmaker.
It's a throwback.
2 M's.
2 M's. Filmmaker.
Filmmaker.
A filmmaker. Me as a filmmaker.
Filmmaker. I just hurt when I watched.
It did. That was rough. That was rough. But yeah, no, we have these identities, though, right?
Yeah.
And so they're as simple as that. Dog owner, like I'm a dad. I'm a homeowner. I'm a landlord.
Last week you were talking about being an evangelical.
Yep, evangelical Christian.
The divide that creates sometimes when you say that, you know, as someone who, it could be as simple as eating avocado toast. Like that's a big millennial versus boomer thing. That was last year or this year.
Yeah.
I lose so much time now and these.
Well, and so it's this idea. So, like, when I'm thinking politically, I would say that I identify as a conservative.
Yeah.
You know, like, I would say that. I wouldn't say I identify as a Republican. I would say I identify as a conservative. But a lot of times, well, you know, and that makes an interesting thing because sometimes conservatives I don't agree with. I don't necessarily agree with what conservatives are pushing all the time.
Right.
But I would identify as a conservative.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Well, that's what he's saying is weird. Well, I mean, that's what he's saying is
Okay.
present in our times.
Okay.
He brought up the 2004 Obama speech. I've watched it on YouTube.
Yep.
Were you like watching it live?
I watched it live.
Like, What was that like?
It seemed powerful.
Yeah.
It seemed like it almost seemed orchestrated.
Okay.
And I don't know that it was, but it seemed very orchestrated, like this is our future guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and I don't think that was ever settled at that moment. I think they just brought in a young guy.
Very charismatic young speaker.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was because he was diverse. I think, he was a good speaker.
Because it was John Kerry's.
John Kerry.
Nomination.
Yep. It was John Kerry was running, and he was running against Bush. No. Yeah, he was running against a Bush. And so,
he had knocked out
and this is actually what we're up against this year. I mean, this is the same thing. It's two white dudes. You know what I mean? Like very classic white dudes, political backgrounds. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. We're not getting anything new, and I feel like it was orchestrated for Barack Obama to be this new, cutting edge, different, young, black. You know what I mean? Like I felt
all these identities
when you were watching the speech. It felt like it was orchestrated.
Yeah.
But incredible speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I left that going, why did he not get the nomination?
Well, he was a state senator.
Yeah,
but, like he was not nothing because that's an accomplishment, but
for sure.
on the countrywide political scale, it's it's nothing.
No.
But that's 2004. In 2008, he's president.
He's president of the United States.
So this speech, they said this speech.
That's
rocketed him up there.
Yeah.
I think 2006 he's elected to the Senate.
Yep.
In Illinois.
And man, conservatives tried so hard to paint no experience on him.
Yeah.
When he had no experience.
Right.
But no one cared because he spoke like he did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a constitutional law professor.
Yeah.
Way before he was a senator.
Yeah.
Or a state senator. So it was like, I mean, he knows the law.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think, but I think to a conservative, I would say, hey, this is the identity. So a conservative is like, yeah, you can know stuff, but how are you going to do in a fight? You're going to roll your sleeves?
That's
you know what I mean?
The boxer, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the experience. Like, you take like a John McCain or and honestly, George Bush didn't have experience.
No.
He had, that's the odd thing.
He had
is
experience
that
with keg stands.
Yeah. I mean,
cool.
But
DUIs.
John McCain was like the epitome of conservative experience.
The POW, yeah.
He's a POW. I mean, he's a man.
He was the maverick. He was the wild card in the Senate.
And he had some background where he was a Democrat and then he was a Republican.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Like he had that diverse background. He was queued up. No one could have won better than him that year for the Republicans. I honestly believe that. I don't think anyone could have won.
I think he could have done better because that was the big question. I remember that was my first election I voted in, and I remember hearing a lot of Republicans saying that, geez, McCain is not super old, but he's pretty old.
Yeah.
What happens if he dies, and then we've got Palin as our president?
That's true.
That was like
the VP pick was a bold one.
It was bold.
It was bold. It was woman.
It was
vote.
great for SNL.
It was a play for a women vote, I think, and women who would traditionally vote Democratic. Women that are engaged in politics vote Democratic.
She's a mom, became governor.
Yeah.
Beauty pageant.
Yeah.
Well, she was in beauty pageant.
She was Miss something.
Yeah.
Alaska, maybe.
I guess.
But
Obama's speech was saying that they can't divide us. So he's talking about the dividers, the polarizers, the talking heads in the media. Your Fox, your CNN, your MSNBC. These guys who drive up ratings, the people who are watching, they're coming to watch a fire, and if you're just, slow burning some really valid policy disagreements, talking rationally with people, hey man, that's not cutting it. I'm trying to escape my wife and kids watching this news.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some
excitement.
Yeah.
Give me
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to watch The Simpsons if this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, blow the building. Give me Die Hard.
Yeah.
Jump a car into a helicopter.
If I wanted to watch this rational stuff, I'd turn on, what is that, C-SPAN or something?
Yeah.
Like, no one watches C-SPAN because
it is actually the only reality TV.
Yeah.
C-SPAN.
Like, this is real life.
Actually,
these people are talking about
that and the cameras at the zoo.
It's like, this
Those
is super
are the
boring.
real things.
Yeah. It's like we're looking for substance in a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's here for, man.
I feel like these thoughts aren't like perfected, but I like that because like what we're doing right now, like talking about this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I feel like I'm coming to an understanding. and I'm not there yet.
No, yeah.
Like
no,
about identity politics and
Yeah.
about this divide and about this polarization. And I've read the book twice.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm coming to it in these discussions because, like, even as you bring that up and talk about Barack Obama's speech about unification, well, not really unification.
No, it's not unifying anybody. It's just saying that we don't have a liberal America. We don't have a conservative America. We've got a United States.
Yeah.
We don't have a black and white and Latino nation. We have a United States of America.
Yeah.
And hearing that, I mean, watching it, 4 or 5 years after the fact, I was like, wow, this is powerful. I could only imagine being in those stands. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, holy crap. Is this Plato come back to life? Or you know what I mean? Like, is this MLK?
Well, he was somebody, I didn't vote for Barack Obama when he ran for president at all. But he was growing up in a conservative background home. My dad voted Republican. I always supported that. And I'm a conservative. Looking at him, I was like, I'm a conservative, but I don't mind him. You know what I mean? Which is, for me, at that time in my life, too, because I was...
But were you engaged in politics at this time? Like, heavily?
I was engaged in cable news at the time.
Okay.
The blue one, which is actually the red one. Well, CNN's brand colors are red. Fox News's are blue.
Gotcha. I do remember showing up to your house and you having blue or
Bill
Fox
O'Reilly,
News
man.
on. I was like, come on, man.
Bill O'Reilly.
We gave you so much hell on that.
And now it's like justified.
Yeah. Something's off about that guy. You can't say
I read
that.
a lot of his books. That I don't know that he wrote them.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He writes all of them. That's what he told Letterman.
Yep. Well, we can believe everything he says.
Yeah.
So
he's obviously a truthful person.
Yeah. I'm like mourning inside for Bill O'Reilly right now.
But like, so he's talking against polarization.
Yeah.
And he doubted it completely. It wasn't that he just didn't think it was a good strategy. He just didn't think it was real. Because it's Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah.
A black man from Chicago.
Yeah.
Single mother. Became a law professor. State senator.
Post 9/11, middle name Hussein.
Gave a riveting speech. 4 years later becomes president.
Yeah.
So he's like, if I can do this as a black man with all these identities.
Yeah. He didn't even have a legal birth certificate. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Don't edit that out. I'm talking to myself. Edit that out.
That's funny. Yeah.
But no, like that's the he was. I mean,
but the paradox is that he's the most polarizing political figure.
Oh, I would agree with that.
In the past 30.
I would absolutely agree with that statement.
There was a poll, and this was a poll. I think it was from the Trump rally. It was from very engaged people, and Vladimir Putin had a higher favorability than Barack Obama. Like in the height of 2015-16, you're like, wait, what?
But it's that anybody but mentality.
Yeah.
Anybody but him. Because he was actually, and again, I never voted for him, okay?
Just want to make that clear.
I want to make that clear. On the record, I did not vote for Barack Hussein Obama. But no, like... His name was so close to Osama bin Laden. I mean, that's like, and he had Hussein as a, I mean, that's what he had a lot against him. He was walking up a hill.
Yeah.
But no, like, but he was a good president.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, he was actually good at being a president.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that we don't have right now. I don't know that Donald Trump's good at being a president.
Yeah.
I think he's good at being something. I don't doubt that he's good at something. He's not great at being a president.
No.
But apparently that doesn't matter though. Like Barack Obama getting elected, did it have anything to do with him being good enough to do it?
I think it was right after Bush, and there's like, we don't want, Obama ran on. I voted for Obama because I was anti-war at the time. I was so fed up with the war, and he was saying we're going to close Guantanamo Bay, we're going to get our troops home, and all this stuff, and a lot of that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I didn't vote for him in 2012.
Yeah.
I don't think. I did vote for somebody. I forget who I did.
You voted for the Republican that year.
Who was the Republican that year?
He was the Mormon.
No, that's why I did vote for Obama again. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't vote for Romney just because in those debates I was like, he's not a bad guy. I didn't hate him, but like
he developed Obamacare.
Yeah, exactly.
I just you know what I mean. Like, he would have been. I mean, he was.
There was one debate where he was like, "Our Navy is at the lowest it's ever been," and he was like, Obama laughed and he was like, yeah, you know what else? Like, we don't have as many bayonets anymore. And I was like, oh, come on. Like, you can't do that. Okay. All right, there we go. Like, it was one of those debates where I was like, you just got my vote. I was, jeez, come on.
Yeah.
We don't have as many horses in the Army as we used to.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the Army's regressing it. There's innovations.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But you're right. But yeah, so he was, I think what you said was he kind of said that we weren't polarized.
Yeah, but he is
the most
polarization in human form.
Yeah, he is. Conservatives hate him.
Yeah. But back to what he said, it's like we've all got family members who we love who just, we do not jive on you don't bring up politics.
Yeah.
You know, there's many games of like, you know, soccer that your kids are at and you get along great. You got neighbors you get along great with, and then you bring up some policy and they're,
oh gosh,
I can't believe you think that way.
And you know, honestly, so my family doesn't talk about politics.
Yeah.
We just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know where anybody sits really.
Yeah.
Well, I could guess, I guess.
Yeah.
But we don't really talk about politics much. And I think some of that is maybe we don't want to be divided. And we feel that would happen, you know?
So, I mean, that was, so as we're saying that Obama was advocating that our outside identities influence our politics. But in reality, right now, it's the other way around.
Our identities
our politics influence our identities.
Okay.
And there's a Lillian Mason.
So who I am is more about what team I've joined.
Yeah, your team gets to choose who you are.
Ooh, okay.
And let's unpack that.
Yeah, let's unpack that.
Lillian Mason writes an uncivil agreement. There's a long quote, but you won't have to read the book you should. It's a good book. But the American political parties are going socially polarized. Religion and race, as well as class, geography, and culture, are dividing the parties in such a way that the effect of party identity is magnified. The competition is no longer between only Democrats and Republicans. A single vote can now indicate a person's partisan preferences, as well as his or her religion, race, ethnicity, gender, neighborhood, and favorite grocery store. Do you remember what we talked about like the Cracker Barrel versus the Whole Foods? Yeah. You know, like that's where we're at. They're saying that partisanship can now be thought of as a mega identity. Yeah. With all the psychological and behavioral magnification that implies.
But don't I end up having to be things I'm not?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I mean, that's how that ends up working. Is that
I'm on the
left, I'm a conservative on all these things.
Man, I love Cracker Barrel. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, get me some country fried steak and gravy. Yeah. Or like get me there at breakfast.
Where do you grocery shop?
We go Walmart, Kroger. I mean,
you don't drive all the way to Knoxville, go to Trader Joe's?
Exactly. Yeah, no.
Is Trader Joe's, that's a lefty thing?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't
know. I'm not that engaged to where like, but I mean, if you're a lefty, you don't eat at Chick-fil-A.
That's true. Okay.
Even though they've got the best sandwich.
That's not true.
Who do you think is better?
Zaxby's. Come on. Zaxby's chicken, far superior than Chick-fil-A. That's not even a competition.
Okay. You talking about like with the sauce on it? Now I go to Zaxby's for a house salad all day long.
Yeah, their salads are amazing.
They're grilled, and we got one in Allgood now.
You've never eaten Zax sauce? I
mean, I have. It's been like a while. Leah's a big Chick-fil-A fan, so I get their spicy chicken sandwich, deluxe. It's so good.
But Leah is also your token ultra-conservative white female. So because of that, obviously she loves Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, absolutely.
But can I be immune from it though?
Yeah.
Can we be immune from it?
Yeah.
Like can I get to a point where my identity is not being scripted by my political leanings?
Let me give you this example.
Okay.
Howard Dean. Do you remember him?
Yeah. Oh gosh, let's bring that back. Can we put that?
It was a thing.
Let's grab that GIF.
He was such a good guy too. I hate it. Like
I don't know how Instagram stories work, but can you put that on an Instagram story?
I don't want to make fun of him. Okay. I think he got enough crap out of it.
Where is he from? He's from
Vermont.
Vermont.
So here's a political ad.
Okay.
I think this was in his primary. I don't know, but it was a Republican group had put out this ad, and it's freeze frame on like your IGA flag painted on the window, super like 4th of July weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
Nice. Homegrown.
Two retired old people,
Yep.
you know, like they're sitting down because, let's be honest, it's harder for them to stand. You know what
There's
I mean?
a rack of firewood in the background and
some
a nice
sweet
chest.
tea on the side.
Yeah.
So they've got everything picture perfect. And they're just, hey, what do you think about Howard Dean's tax hike? And the man starts and says, I think Howard Dean should take his tax hike and government expanding, latte drinking, sushi eating, Volvo driving, New York Times reading. His wife jumps in here. Body piercing, Hollywood loving, left wing freak show back to Vermont where it belongs. That's the mega identity politics. That's the. Okay, so now I don't like lattes. You know, I like black coffee.
Black coffee. I'm a black coffee guy.
I like sushi. I drive a Nissan truck. I don't drive a Volvo station wagon. I've driven station wagons before.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Yeah.
But like, does that, because I'm on the left, does that mean I have to drive a Subaru or?
Yeah, I mean, were those things even Howard Dean?
No.
I don't even think
That's what they saw. But like, because you're on the left.
Yeah, you have to be this.
I think we talked about this last episode. It was like, well, you believe this, so you must believe all these other things.
Yeah.
You're on the left, so this is your mega identity.
Clearly, yeah. Clearly, you know, and that's definitely me every day.
So our show is talking about having a conversation.
Yep.
The worst way to have a conversation is
a bunch of assumptions.
Hey, we're going to talk about this, but what about this, this, and this, and this? It's like, okay, that hasn't entered the conversation.
Yep.
But you're on this side of the conversation, so you must believe in this.
You must believe these things.
Like, yeah, let's talk about, you know, the looting, but what about, you know,
but that's a great way to like win an argument, not a great way to have a conversation.
Yeah, that's what it's are we winning or are we finding truth?
Yeah. And Vermont. I mean, come on.
Do you remember that SNL? I think I showed you that SNL sketch.
You did, with Kylo Ren in it. Well, I mean, not Kylo Ren, but the guy who played him. I
can't
name.
remember his name now, but it was like this white
sketch.
supremacist meeting.
Yes.
And they're like, we need to find our own country land where we can have our ideals, you know? And it's like, where there's no black people, there's no nothing.
Yep.
You can have apple pie sitting on your windowsill. Raise your own children and a God-fearing, God-loving countryside. And it's like, Kylo stands up and he's like, I think that's Vermont.
Because it is.
Yeah. And he's like, no, not that liberal, loving, Volvo driving place. We want to live where a man can do what he wants. He can have as many guns. Yeah, you're talking about Vermont, man. He's like, you're not understanding. And he lists off like every other thing. He's like, yeah, dude, that's Vermont. And then like the black, you know, manager of the office space comes in. And he's like, hey, buddy, let me ask you a question real quick. And he's like, guys, your time's up. Let's go. And he's like, okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. Hey, come here. Would you ever go to Vermont? And he's like, why would I ever go to Vermont? And he's like, I guess we're going to Vermont, guys. But like that, please.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like,
what it is, yeah.
Oh, you think Vermont now? It's like, oh, that's Bernie Sanders' socialist country. It's like, no. Have you ever been? We went once. It was like barbecue shops on every side.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Gosh, they got some great cheese.
Oh yeah.
You know,
they're they had like maple infused everything.
Yep.
Soft serve maple. Oh gosh, those are so good.
Yeah, I like their cheese because as a Vikings fan from Minnesota, Wisconsin's known for their cheese, obviously, and I have to find another cheese to like, so I don't like theirs.
Vermont's good.
So Vermont is a close second. California also has a great.
But we spent about 2 weeks there, and very conservative.
Yeah.
From the people I talked, and we were in Burlington. I mean,
and they elect Republicans. I mean, they're on the conservative side.
But that's how quick we are to us versus them.
Yeah, we assume they're in the Northeast. We assume Howard Dean's from there.
In Vermont, every day it's just Woodstock happening.
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah,
all day long.
Yeah,
people
liberal hippies
living off the government.
Yep.
No, most of them are living off the land.
Yeah,
leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
We talked about Cape last.
Yeah,
Kaepernick last year, and that's that hyper identity, you know.
It is, yeah.
All of a sudden, supporting the NFL meant that you're a liberal. All of a sudden, owning Nikes meant that you're a liberal.
Yep.
So Republicans boycotted the NFL and burnt their Nike shoes. And I just, that never makes sense to me. No.
Like, who does that help?
No.
You paid for the Nike shoes.
I remember there's
3
this
weeks
one,
from now, when you get over this hangover,
Yeah.
you're going to buy another pair of Nikes.
There's this big thing that pushed when like Chick-fil-A was like supporting same-sex, or no, I'm sorry, they were opposing same-sex marriage.
They were opposing it on the. Did they make a statement or something?
Yeah, I
Dan
think
Cathy made a statement about it when it was something was being considered in the Supreme Court.
Right, no, it was right before that ruling,
Yeah.
and so like Lefty said they were going to boycott it, and then you just saw like conservatives going to like just support it like crazy.
Yeah.
Their lines always backed up, but like it was even more. So there was
Yeah.
a few lines
Yeah.
instead of just the two.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this video of this one guy who sat in line for like an hour and ordered water. And once he got to the window, he had to tell the poor girl checking him out, yeah, I just ordered water to waste your time because I don't agree with your guys' policy. I'm like, dude, she's making like $7.25 an hour.
Yeah.
Like that. Write a letter to. Right on the Facebook,
Yeah.
like this was stupid. You wasted your time.
Yeah.
You're making
You
yourself
cut
look
your
like
own
an
arm
idiot.
off to hurt them.
And this 15, 16-year-old girl has to deal with your,
Yeah.
polarized anger.
Yeah.
So like it happens everywhere, and there's bad actors on both
Yeah.
of the ends. It's like, how do we stop this?
Yeah.
How do we get to the point where we're not yelling at 16-year-old girls in the drive-through window?
Yeah, but I would say too, like, I mean, I think it's a misrepresentation of how it works. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish there was like a how it works on political movement, because like Dan Cathy making some sort of political statement about what he thought about same-sex marriage does not impact the way his business makes money.
Right.
Like, he's not. Yeah. I'm not in favor of that, but I'm gonna serve food to gay couples. Like, that's totally fine.
Right, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I want to sell chicken.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I do.
But in the age of where money talks in politics,
Yeah.
I think getting rid of like Citizens United would solve a lot of this. I don't feel bad giving money to someone who is against me if I didn't know that all that accumulative wealth is going to go to Washington to lobby for
Yeah.
laws. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because right now it's like eating a chicken sandwich is almost like donating to the other party. Like that's what it feels like,
But that's not what it is, though.
No, but
I'm
that's
gonna-
what's being pushed.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
let's be sober about it. Like, that's what's being pushed right now.
Yeah. You should be scared of Chick-fil-A. But don't be scared of Chick-fil-A.
I
Like,
love
that's ridiculous.
Chick-fil-A.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
you don't have to be scared of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But I just think that's a lot of it, is like we're
Voting
always,
with your dollars. That's
Yeah.
the big thing.
Yeah, telling you who to be scared of.
I'm still not shopping at Lowe's.
I know. Hey, that's okay. That's good, though. I mean, support local business anyway.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
100%. I mean, let's do that. And not that there's anything wrong with a national chain.
You teed me up, though. I had to,
Yeah.
you asked for the sale. I had to crap on Lowe's a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and this is the other thing about,
So the team sport we say team sport. That's an easy way to say the mega identity
Yep.
theory
Okay.
that he's pushing. That Mason that we talked about, she surveyed. She didn't survey. She collected some data and cut the data to only include Democrats whose policies should make them a Republican, and Republicans whose views should make them a Democrat.
yeah.
But they were trained as youths to be the Republican or Democrat, just like their family.
Yep.
So they asked them their favorabilities of each party on a feeling scale from 1 to 100. So Republicans, again, whose policies should make them Democrats,
Yep.
agreed with the Republican like 60 to 70, or they felt like 60, 70% of the Republicans were doing well.
Yep.
Democrats 30 to 50. Same thing with the Democrats who should have
Didn't
been
have anything to
Republicans.
do with what they actually believe personally.
But what the party told them to believe, that I feel good about everything. So it's like, okay, are you in the policy, or are you just in the rhetoric? I think
Yeah.
that's a lot of it.
Yeah.
We're hearing a lot from the media and what they're telling you the other person is saying and believing. But if you look at their policies, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I still don't like this, but it's not all
But this is the
hellfire and
problem.
brimstone.
This is the problem I'm seeing, and I'm stepping out. Of
No, that's fine,
this is the problem I see, though. We want people to be more engaged with the policies,
Mm-hmm.
but when you get more engaged in politics, you get less engaged with the policies and more engaged with a party or a rhetoric.
Yeah.
That's how do we not do that?
Yeah.
How do we not?
Because the stakes are high.
Yeah.
He made the point to say that, and I believe that. I agree with him. Like, this should not be trivialized. Like, there are clear differences in the parties, and there's clear difference in the policies. But, like, we've raised them to the level of winning a Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl every 4 years in our politics, in the national elections. Meanwhile, we don't care a crap about who our state representative. Most people don't know that you have a state representative and a state senator. You know, like, there's so many people electing, and those guys are in direct control of how your communities operate, how your county operates, you know? So, like, but yet we're so into the parties that, like, all that matters is that our party is controlling the whole country.
Okay, I'm going to step out of our discussion here and just ask you, how do you feel about the Electoral College? I know that seems out of the blue.
So the Supreme Court, well, not really. I mean, the Supreme Court, at this point in the episode, or when this episode will air, it's like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks since the Supreme Court said that, so states were telling the voters in the Electoral College that they had to abide by the state's rules on where they had to vote. So some states now make their people voting at the national level say, hey, if these people if this candidate won the popular vote,
you have to vote.
You have to vote for him.
All of them do.
So they're not saying that nationwide that is the policy. They're just saying that the 14 states that agree to this are now, like, you have to abide by those rules.
Yep. Yeah.
So that makes the electoral, it makes it redundant. Like, if it's based on the popular vote, then it's based on the popular vote.
Yeah. Well, it's not based on popular vote everywhere.
No, but that's what I mean. But, like, if that's 14 states, that number's growing every year. So I think eventually it's going to be gone.
But not all the states are winner takes all either. Some of them split.
And we talked about this in, like, I think chapter 1.
But I say that because what if we could empower voters to vote locally only?
But that goes back to the point we were making a few weeks ago, where it was, our counties are becoming more, like, agreeable. So there's more counties that are every liberal is going to a city to live, you know, because that's where their policies are enacted. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we elect people based on land, I don't know. I think.
But my thought is, if we got people engaged locally in something they could understand and really know, and they voted that, and then our elected officials were our electoral college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In national elections.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that a better system in the population density that we have today?
I am all for the communities, you know, policing themselves, governing themselves. Like, that is where the most accountability always is. Yeah. You know, and then when I just want to give them power to. It's I don't know. It's a big mess. There's a lot to unpack because, you know, you saw it in New York, for example. AOC just got crapped on because Amazon wanted to put an HQ there.
Yep. And
she knew the worth of her community, so they were asking for all these tax breaks, and she said no. Like, tons of people want to be here. Yeah. And so they were all like, "You just gave away 500 or 600 jobs to some other city." Meanwhile, and I mean, I get that. But, like, what is the cost of those jobs if our tax dollars from the community are being siphoned off to another community? That should be going to, like, our taxes in our communities should be going to making our communities better. Like, that's almost the taxation without representation, but it's like on a corporate scale. But meanwhile, in that situation, Amazon later came back and they paid the tax rates that the city wanted them to pay because they knew the worth of their community. Like, everyone's putting stuff in New York City. You know what I mean? Like, duh.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm all for, like, communities fighting off, but, like, when you've got mega corporations, like, having so much money to throw in PR campaigns, it's hard to do that.
Yeah, so, but that's New York City. I mean, who are they up against?
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, when it's New York City, who are they up against?
I
live in Cookville.
So let's zoom out.
Cookville and Crossville.
Right.
If it's a fight between the two.
But you know. Yeah, I understand that. And that's what I mean. Like, that's a very specific case. But, like, let's apply that here. If there's some new company saying, hey, with the same stipulations, we want some tax breaks. Yeah. We're not going to put that back in the community. We're going to take those tax breaks and do stock buybacks or whatever. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
Then all they have to do to get away with that is just post, you know, an article in the local newspaper or start a Facebook group and push some information that way. Like, it's a battle to be had, but I just think that getting the right information out to the right people, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that laws like govern the like morality of people. You know, I was listening to some YouTuber today before we recorded this, and he was like, if laws change things, then there would be no one in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's not the case. So
I don't know what it looks like.
If the illegality of marijuana changed people, then we wouldn't have marijuana use.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah. No.
So I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah. Where are we at on this episode? I think we're wrapping up here soon.
Yeah, there is some more.
I know.
There's a lot more from what was that guy's name? The French guy, Tajfel. There's some more stuff in there. If you like what we're saying, get the book, read through it.
And
there's some more stuff.
We're not going to be able to cover everything in this book, and it's chock full of good things.
But we talked about the Kaepernick thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Here's an example that played out in politics, like the Kaepernick thing happened.
Yep.
Hispanics become a big part of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So Obama passes the Dreamers Acts to make sure that young Hispanics stay in the country.
Yep.
Which makes Republicans mad. And now immigration. I quoted my favorite Reagan quote a few weeks back. We're talking about amnesty.
Yeah.
Now this is
we're building walls.
There's a divide here.
Yeah.
So now it's one side or the other. So then that allows Trump to run off of fear of illegal immigrants, anti-immigration agenda, which then pushes Hispanics more to the left.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's a self-defeating. Like we're losing as a country, but these two private parties are winning. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I think immigration, man, we haven't really gotten into that. We should get into that.
Well, that pushed us to the point now where in this Democratic primary, they're asking questions like, do you support giving universal health care to illegal immigrants? That question wouldn't have been asked in 2012 to Obama. Like, he'd be like, of course not. You know?
Yeah.
But now it's like, we're pushing each other into a corner. We've got the rest of the room to
And we almost have to choose extreme things.
Yeah, like you've got to be in the corner because otherwise, like if you give any ground, then you're closer to them. And how is that going to make you look when they send their emails out to their fundraisers?
Yeah,
you know, like we're so far to the edges because we're pushing, like we're scared to give a ground to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or come and meet in the center.
We're scared to compromise because compromise doesn't get you a win.
Yeah,
it doesn't get you.
It doesn't look good on the fundraising emails.
No.
So
yeah, you should give money to this guy. He was able to find common ground with the enemy.
Yeah.
And agree, even though conceding some things, agree on something. That doesn't raise money.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look good on.
I don't know. Do
headlines.
I don't give money to that.
Okay, nerd. You know what I mean? I like someone who's going to go and fight.
Yes. I mean, we kind of do. We like those heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're on the TV.
And that's, but this is the thing, though. We should be supporting the compromisers, the people who have good conversations, the people who will have a patron account on Podbean that you can support for as low as $2 a month.
Subscribe to this video.
If you'd like to like and subscribe. I'm always ready. Always ready.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're wrapping up.
We're wrapping it up. But what does that look like? What does it look like to be less polarized in our voting? You know what I mean?
You cannot be, and I think he brings this point up in this chapter, is you cannot be rational by yourself.
Yep.
Rationality takes bouncing your ideas off of others, see how it affects the community around you. And we're book readers, and that's like kind of a pretentious thing, but like even book readers are susceptible to this. This is a primal instinct in us. It's something that kept us alive for thousands of years.
I pick up books that resonate with what I want to listen to.
Right.
I mean, that's true.
But it gives you this false sense of security that I'm not like those people. No, we are. All of us are. So it's up to you every day to check yourself. It's like, do I believe this because it falls in line with this mega identity that the party's shoving towards me? Or does this, it was the tale of the two voters. It's, the less engaged one is like, what does this policy do for me?
Yeah.
And the other one's like, that's super hyper engaged is what what does this policy say about me? I'm not advocating that we need to be less engaged. We should be more engaged, but also at the end of that, be asking the question, how does this affect me? How does this affect my community? Rather than, I mean, if someone saw that I believed in that, what would they think? You got to throw that to the wind. Like, who cares? Like, if you got ideals, you got to stand up.
And you had brought up before about, I forget who it was now, but they didn't have it. They were running on a platform that they didn't have any power to change anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't have a voice in it. It was a state representative, but they were running on.
Oh, that was a hypothetical. Yeah, okay. That's one like some.
But that's when I go to vote. Mm-hmm. If I'm a single issue voter. Yeah. If I only care about abortion. Yeah. Okay, which is, I mean, that's a large swath of the conservative voters. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're single issue voters. Mm-hmm. So if I only care about one issue, I should vote on that issue in the place that it will make a difference. But I shouldn't necessarily. When I'm voting on another area that they don't have a say in how that goes,
more than likely, if you believe that, you know, your community is going to believe it based off the data. A majority of your community is going to believe that. So you should be looking at different things. You know, like if your state representative is like, oh God, I remember when Tennessee was running like their senator Blackburn, and she was talking about a wall. I'm like. Bro, what wall are you talking about?
Like between us and Kentucky?
Georgia?
Or,
like, what do you, like Mississippi? Okay, I'm on board. You know, like, okay, cool. But like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you can't do anything with that.
No,
that's not you.
But that's like the hyper polarizing thing. And I mean, she's on a federal level, but like, then you got state representatives and state senators saying, I'm all for making budgetary votes to build a wall. Like, you're in the budget for Tennessee.
You're not going to make that.
You have nothing to do with that.
You have nothing to do with it. And that's, I think we need to be informed in that regard of what can this person actually, what kind of change can they actually put forth?
They can make sure that our roads, our schools are more well taken care of because the private businesses that are established here, you know, pay their fair share and stuff. Like, that's all we got to do.
And I think so we're looking at an election coming up in November. There'll be a bunch of, we've got an election in August. So that'll be local stuff.
Yesterday, well, what is today?
It was the cutoff for registration.
Yeah, the registration's already gone. So if you are registered, then
you know, if you're in a different state or whatever, be looking for those elections coming up. Yeah. Because a lot of stuff is coming up. Start to look at those elections not as, okay, well, I'm not informed on this, so I'll vote for the Republican because Republicans are pro-life, or Republicans are for building a wall, or Republicans are for pro-gun. Yeah. Don't vote in an election that doesn't have anything to do with that on that substance.
I mean, maybe your Republican-heavy area needs a Democrat. Maybe your Democrat-heavy place needs a Republican. Yep. Heck, maybe you need an independent. You know, like, look at the policies. All these guys have websites that like show out. Like, if you're a guy is, hey, you know, you're in a rural community, we need to get fiber out here so that our towns aren't decaying. That the only way to get a good job is if you leave.
I'll tell you what, Curtis, what I want to do coming up, because August is coming with our election. That one's coming up quick. I would love to do an episode, maybe not on our Tuesday, maybe not our normal one, but where we look at everybody that's running. Yeah. And we talk it through. Heck yeah. Where these guys are. Not, you know, we're not giving stock tips here. No. You know what I mean?
We're not handing out we're just, hey, this stickers.
This is the real change this person can make. Yeah. Yeah, they're pro-gun, but they're not voting on that. They're this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. They could do this. I would love to do that.
I like that a lot.
We could post that. We don't have to do it as our Tuesday, because that's not going to be interesting to people not in our area.
We might do a special Thursday episode. Yeah. A special Friday episode. I don't know. Yeah.
I'd love it to be like 7 hours long and live. And us just pulling our hair out. Hey, can we do that? Can we call the election? Yeah, yeah. Can we do the real? Would you do that with me? Yeah. No, whatever.
I would. Like, no, I would. That would be fun.
We can now call the 13th district of Overton County for like, and nobody knows who they are. People you know never heard of running out of post.
We're just doing it specifically for Putnam County. Yeah. It's like, cool. Thanks for the 3 electoral votes, guys. That's great.
That would be so funny.
We don't know how they'll vote because Tennessee's not a state that requires them to adhere to what their county voted for.
They don't.
I don't think so.
No, they don't. But they do. Right? Anyway.
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
We'll fact check ourselves.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining with us today. Thanks for supporting us by watching and sharing us. Hey, this is a good way to have a conversation with a friend.
Yeah.
That maybe you don't know how to start that conversation.
Yeah.
Sharing this video is a great way to do that.
Yep.
So liking the video helps us too. I know Curtis pays more attention to the algorithms than I do.
Yeah.
But a like on here helps us get our voice out there.
Yeah, and a subscribe and even a comment. Like, I mean, just let us know what you think, or, you know, even a private message is fine. But, you know, comments really help others engage. It's hard to be the first person to stand up, but when someone does, I've seen a lot when we get one comment, we get like 10.
We'll have
you know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to see conversations like this happening, I'm not trying to pressure you, but like,
jump in.
Yeah.
Jump in and do it.
Yeah.
So we'd love to have you do that. And then also, I mentioned it earlier, tongue in cheek, but we do have patrons that help us out. We are trying to raise monthly support to help offset some costs, but also to roll out some new features.
Yeah.
And a couple things we want to be doing is these thinker events where maybe, you know, we get people together and we talk about, you know, some issues that like we talk about here, but in more detail, and talk about how we can actively be advancing good in our communities.
And also like spotlighting some, it'll help pay us for some setup costs to spotlight some organizations that we like, that we want to promote in our community and in other communities. Just to model like, hey, this is something you can do. And if your community doesn't have this, then hey, run with it. You know?
And so that's why we're doing the supporting. That's why we're doing that. But we'd also like, with your support, especially with what Curtis just said, we'd love to know, hey, who's doing a great job out there? Who can we highlight? Send us those as well. As you support us, also send us that information. We would love to check them out and see how we can team with people that are out there doing good things. So, Curtis,
cool.
Thanks for another one.
Yep, you too. We'll see you guys next week.
Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed the discussion here, and if you did, go ahead and click that like button. That helps us out. Also, if you're not a subscriber, you should be. If you subscribe and hit the bell, then you get a notification every time we post new content. That way you can stay up on all the discussions we're having. If this conversation resonated with you, maybe share it with a friend over on social media. And also, we've got some other videos, so feel free to check those out and join in anywhere.